It was the week that the Executive's internal divisions were once again exposed. Martin McGuinness attacked Unionists' commitment to power sharing, and the DUP responded by questioning Sinn Féin's commitment to policing. So what kind of impact is all this dispute and discord having? The View's Gareth Gordon has been talking to one of Northern Ireland's leading industrialists about the impact of the current tensions and what they're having on the economy.
Misty watercolour memories of the way we were.
Memories. The moment they said would never happen. But that was then.
Scattered pictures.
Long gone are the days of the Chuckle Brothers. No one's laughing now.
All of this would be greatly helped if some within unionism ended the pretense that they are not working the Good Friday Agreement institutions. People need to be in government not because they have to be, but because they want to be.
We will hold them accountable, because that's our job, and that's why we went into government. And if they're recoiling from that, then there will be consequences.
Things are so bad that apparently this week the parties decided to hold what's been described as a bonding session. So what effect is all of this instability having? Well, let's remember for a moment that the Executive's main priority is said to be the economy. Let's try telling that to the man who runs this very successful company outside Lisburn. John Cunningham's Camlin Group employs around 200 people, supplying and developing cutting-edge products for the power industry. So what does he think of the power wielded by the Executive?
If they were a business, they'd be bankrupt. They've had time, they've had the money, they've had the opportunity, they'd be bankrupt.
Seriously?
Well, of course.
So they are a business to some extent, and they're employed by the people of Northern Ireland. So what should the people do?
That's not up to me to decide. I'm just saying that if it was a business, it would be long gone.
Executive ministers well know who John Cunningham is. It was his factory which was used for the launch of the public consultation into cutting the rate of corporation tax. So his words carry some weight.
Over the last 30 years, we've been arguing about the same things. There doesn't seem to be, in many ways, a great deal of progress to me. So our world, the world of business, I think just tends to ignore it.
But do you watch the political coverage?
No, not at all.
Why not?
It's of no relevance. None whatsoever.
Surely the government of Northern Ireland, the Executive, must have relevance.
Not to us. They're there, they do their own thing, we do ours, and it's not up to us to change because our attitudes are formed by the real world in which we live. The international business community, it's up to the Executive to come to terms with the way that we have to live.
And are you saying they haven't done that?
Well, do you think they have, with the present disputes?
But do you think they have?
No, not at all.
What do they need to do?
I think that they need to look realistically at the problems that are facing the province and tackle those. It's an absolute disgrace that our young people are having to leave, that we have a completely inadequate education system, and that we just simply cannot provide the people that can fuel an industrial programme. So that's a total disgrace that we have a divided education system. There's just no logic to those things. And if a government is to be a government, it must tackle those issues.
As for the Executive's latest troubles,
I think that it's nonsensical. Totally nonsensical. It's like watching children argue at school. What relevance does it have? Why don't they put it all behind and really look and address the problems that we're facing? We're not facing. These arguments and these historical things are not going to change the way we go forward. They're only going to keep us in the past. They're not going to keep our young people at home. They're not going to put prosperity into the province. we should put them behind, move on.
We showed John Cunningham's comments to a leading economist.
He makes some very scathing remarks about our local politicians, and some of those are very fair. I mean, look at the skills problems he has. Our education system and the outputs of it are nobody's responsibility but our own, and if we're failing our children, it's our responsibility. But I think what he misses very slightly is that politicians have a lot of pressures on their time too, and if we, the electorate, are constantly asking them tribal questions, then they have to provide tribal answers. We need the electorate to really be making those business issues and pressing onto our local executive that we need jobs for our people, and most importantly we need jobs for our children, because they're simply not coming in the numbers that we need.
If we had the chance to do it all again, tell me, would we? Could we?